I couldn't fit this video on my main channel, Enchanted, and because I don't talk about video games except for one time, I thought I would revive this channel that has been dormant for hibernation. But if this video does well and I have the motivation, I'll make more like this in the future, whether I think something is interesting. Also, I don't have to get this to 8 minutes to get ad revenue since this channel isn't monetized, but make sure to subscribe and like and comment if you want to see more. Anyways, I used to love Mario. I don't really have that same connection anymore, but still have fond memories, but especially Mario Odyssey. Easily my favorite 3D platformer type game up till now. Don't get me wrong, Mario Odyssey is still a great game when it comes to mechanics and fun-wise, especially with how much content you get too, but it's always a game I can't play for hours on end without getting genuinely bored of. Not to say the game is bad, but sometimes the mechanics get repetitive and bland after multiple playthroughs and multiple hour sessions. I'm sure you read the title and know what I'm getting at, so let's just get into it. I don't want to over-exaggerate in these videos because when you over-exaggerate, it only seems to ruin the video when the audience expects one thing but gets something more meh. But when I say Astro Bot is the pinnacle of 2024 gaming, I am not joking, over-exaggerating, or believing that another game this year can top this, and to be fully honest, I have not beaten the game yet. And the background clips are all early level, so don't worry about spoilers, but I wanted to get off my chest. With the only couples hours I've played, I think the $60 price tag is more worth Astro Bot than most games on the market right now. So where does Astro Bot go right exactly? Well, I think it had a pretty great start when people tuned into the PlayStation announcement, whatever, I mean, all companies do this now, their live stream, and we're trying to be hyped up with Concord, and we know how this has turned out. But what people got really excited for, and probably to PlayStation's surprise, was the announcement of a sequel to Astro's Playroom, a literal tech demo of the PlayStation 5. What brought the excitement up was the environments, the feeling that some people were to get from older games they used to play when they were younger, and especially the variety of the mechanics that were being teased. When the game fully came out only a couple days ago, it was met with critically amazing reception, with anyone picking the game up having a time of their life. If you have played the game, you know exactly the feeling this game brings. It's a breath of fresh air to a genre that can basically be described as a mostly Mario genre, since all games that basically played like Mario. The mechanics are a whole story where every level feels different from each other, and I'm not talking about the environments, I'm talking about the feel of these mechanics, practically being fully felt when holding the DualSense controller, making this the perfect candidate for one of the most advanced games to come out on the PlayStation 5, taking full advantage of everything it has. The game isn't overtly hard either, letting it be a game that could be a good one to make a hot chocolate and start playing a few levels because it's just fun. It's not too hard, it's not too easy, it's just right. My next thing I want to say is not attacking this game, but just drawing a small conclusion from what I played. Black Myth Wukong is a game that was hyped up for so long and released to 10 million copies being sold in barely any time at all. I played this on stream on my main channel and was delighted by the game. I thought it was fun, having a nice feel to it when I sat down and played it, and the people watching liked it too. It's a shame I refunded the game after 90 minutes. Some people will say I didn't give it enough time, and I fully understand that. And from what I got, I would have loved to continue playing. But honestly, while playing the game, I felt a sense of, this game reminds me of Elden Ring. And with that thought, I thought another thought of why spend $60 for a game that reminds me of Elden Ring, and why not just go play Elden Ring instead? I already own it anyways and still haven't beaten the game. The point I'm trying to get at is that Astro Bot compared to Mario Odyssey are both completely separate games that are great in their own ways, but comparing something like Black Myth Wukong, as I mentioned, to Elden Ring, although not a copy of one another or the same game, but it has so many similarities between the two that made me think spending $60 for Black Myth Wukong just not worth it for me. Astro Bot is a good game to go in expecting little, because in the end you'll be treated with something fantastic, and not only looks good, but also feels good too in your hands. And something I can assure you, it's not the same 3D platformers you've been playing, but a full-on experience like no other that exists right now. Astro Bot is the pinnacle of 2024 gaming, and something that's so fresh and new that it could honestly inspire a full generation of games to come. And that, my friends, is no joke.